There will be no more exiles today. Hello my friends, it's Johnaroth, and today I am playing with a commander that was released maybe a little less than a year ago, but still a very popular commander. Today I play with Tasigur, the Golden Fang. And Tasigur looks like it's pretty expensive with 5 colorless and 1 black. You get a human shaman that is a 4/5 and it has delve. And what delve means is that you can use cards out of your graveyard to make Tasigur cheaper. So you can actually cast him for fairly cheap if you have a ton of cards in your graveyard. Tasigur's ability is 2 colorless, 1 blue or green, and 1 more blue or green. You can mill 2 cards and then return a non-land card of your opponent's choice from your graveyard to your hand. So basically, the goal of this deck is to get a ton of stuff into our graveyard so we can keep casting Tasigur for relatively cheap. We have cards in here like Stitcher's Supplier, which gets cards in the graveyard, Ripples of Undeath that gets cards in the graveyard, Aftermath Analyst. There are just a ton of cards that I've put in here that are essentially cycling through our deck to get tons of cards in the graveyard and then make Tasigur relatively cheap. You can also, because he has a blue-green ability, you can lean into green for lots of ramp cards like Birds of Paradise, Delighted Halfling, as well as the control elements of blue like Mana Drain, Counterspell, etc. And then on the top end, we have a lot of really powerful big cards, some big creatures like Primeval Titan Lumra, Gristlebrand to draw cards. We can take multiple turns with Time Warp and Temporal Manipulation. So this is just really a good value deck, leaning into the strengths of each color and focusing on graveyard synergy so that you can get Tasigur out and really annoy your opponent to death. So let us take Tasigur, the Golden Fang, into the queue and do the graveyard shuffle. Let's go. Okay, our very first game is against Tasa Karlov. This hand we do get to go first. We have a Gemstone Cavern. I am going to go ahead and keep this. Let's go ahead and put down the Gemstone Cavern. And I'm going to get rid of the... Man, this is tough. The Fatal Push. Hopefully we can get a turn 2 Psychic Frog, start drawing some cards. Tasa is a 2/4, and if a creature dying causes a triggered ability you control to trigger, it triggers twice. Creature tokens you control have Vigilance and Lifelink. Oh, he has an Esper Sentinel. Ugh. Okay. Let's go ahead and get out the Fellmire and get out the Psychic Frog. Hopefully he doesn't have any removal for it, but we'll see. Okay, opponent has a Blood Artist. Alright, let's go ahead and get down a Shipwreck Marsh and attack in with the Psychic Frog. Draw another card. Let's go ahead and get out the Delighted Halfling here. Trying to build up our base. Okay, opponent's going to try to use the Polluted Delta. This, I think, is a good use of the Tail's End to stop him from getting a land. It's essentially a Stone Rain. Now, he will get to draw a card with the Esper Sentinel, but that's okay. Opponent's going to use a Nowhere to Run. What's he going to target? The Delighted Halfling? Okay. Let's go swing in with the Esper Sentinel. Let's first swing in with our Psychic Frog to see what we draw, unless he blocks with the Blood Artist. Draw another card. Okay, Shifting Woodland. I'm going to go ahead and put down a Polluted Delta. We have 2 cards in the graveyard. So that means exactly 6 mana. Well, technically, with this, it becomes 7 mana we could use. Let's go ahead and get out Tasigur. We have a lot of land in our hand, unfortunately. Opponent has a Doomed Traveler and a so he basically is loading up the battlefield here. Let's go ahead and put down a Dream Root Cascade. Let's swing in with both. You gonna block with 2, opponent? Nope. Okay. Opponent's gonna get a treasure out of this and do some more damage. Perfectly fine. We're gonna keep up Tasigur's mana here. Let's see what our opponent does. Opponent could summon his commander. If they do, I will use the blot out to kill it. Lurus is definitely a something we want to kill here. Go ahead and kill off. Let's exile Lurus. I will pay the 1 here to get rid of Lurus. Very powerful in that type of deck. Can keep bringing back things from the graveyard every turn. Opponent's going to swing in with the Esper Sentinel. Let's go ahead and put down a Shifting Woodland. Let's swing in with everything. Kind of feel like deja vu here. Killing the greedy freebooter. He's going to get another treasure. Let's go ahead and get out the Overlord directly. We got our Halfling back. Let's go ahead and get the Halfling onto the battlefield again. Could use Tasigur's effect multiple times if we so want. Opponent has a Pitiless Plunderer here. Okay, first step, let's put down Awaken to kill off the Pitiless Plunderer. We're gonna have to deal with that Blood Artist though too. Let's go ahead and swing in with all 3 of our creatures, keeping the Halfling back. Opponent's gonna just block the frog. We have our opponent down to 6. Let's go ahead and put down the Spy Vault, pass the turn. Opponent's down to 7 life. Opponent has a Shambling Ghast. And has Synthonian Nightmare. That's pretty good in that deck. Opponent's going to sacrifice the Ghast, do some damage, create a treasure. He could potentially do that again. Okay, how are we going to win this? We could get back the Bitter Triumph if we exile a bunch of cards with the Psychic Frog, maybe? We definitely have to kill off the Blood Artist. Let's start exiling some cards here. Let's exile some more cards here. I want to be very specific in the card that our opponent chooses. I want to control what our opponent chooses. Let's get rid of those 3 cards. Now let's use Tasigur's ability. So now our opponent has to choose one of the cards that we actually want. Opponent chooses Bitter Triumph, perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and swing in with the Psychic Frog, Tasigur, and the Overlord here. We'll get back the Tireless Provisioner. Let's go ahead and discard a card and kill off the Blood Artist before we do take any damage. We'll pay the 1. Pass the turn. Opponent is going to use a Synthonia Nightmare again. He could get back the Blood Artist, but he's going to be using up his mana if he does all that. It's a tense game of Magic. What do we have in our graveyard? Do we have any creatures? No, we do not. Opponent could sacrifice the Ghast, get back Blood Artist or another card, but I do think we've got our opponent here. Opponent's going to sacrifice the Ghast, get a treasure, okay, get back the Blood Artist. He could do this effect again, maybe even twice, but then he'll be out of mana. Opponent's looking at Tasigur, probably trying to figure out if there's something he can do to stay alive. Opponent's also going to get out a Skyclave Apparition. He's going to get rid of the Psychic Frog. Perfectly fine. Okay. Discard to get back a creature. What does he have in his graveyard? Nothing we really want. We could use a Strip Mine to get rid of one of his lands. I'm going to go ahead and try this. Let's go ahead and get back a Strip Mine here. Go ahead and get out Tireless Provisioner. Put down a Strip Mine. I'm going to go ahead and use the Strip Mine now to get rid of one of his lands. Let's get rid of the Castle Lochthwain. Then I'm going to go ahead and bounce the Blood Artist back to his hand. We'll get the Baleful Strix back. Opponent is down to 1. I actually meant to pick a food token, not a treasure. Oops. But our opponent is essentially crippled on mana. He only has 2 mana, so he can't use a lot of the effect of the Synthonian Nightmare. Opponent's going to use a Synthonian Nightmare, I'm assuming. We can also use the Shifting Woodlands on our turn to attack if he sends a creature to the graveyard. Opponent's going to sacrifice the Blood Artist to gain a life. And that, my friends, is that. Good game. Whew. Our next game is against Ketramos. We get to go first. If we had an island, this hand would be really good. But without an island, this is kind of risky. I'm going to go ahead and try it anyway. If we can get to an island, though, I think we'll be in good shape. Ketramos, basically you get out Ketramos and then you exile everything your opponent has, draw a ton of cards. And you can, once you have 7 or more cards in exile, then you get to attack with him, and he has lifelink and menace. Okay, opponent is going to surveil. I'm going to go ahead and put down a Strip Mine, and let's go ahead and destroy our opponent's land. Just trying to keep him off his mana base as much as possible. Go ahead and put down an Overgrown Tomb. Let's cast Malevolent Rumble here. And I will take a Marsh Flats. Put down the Marsh Flats, and let's cast a Stitcher's Supplier to get some more cards into the graveyard. Perfect. We'll just stay as is here. Opponent's going to try to get out Ketramos. We're going to get our Watery Grave, and we're going to counter his commander. This is really setting him back very far. Let's go ahead and get out our commander here. You know what? Let's do this, and let's just go ahead and let's use as much of our graveyard as possible here. We can afford it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do want to keep up mana for the Planar Genesis. Let's swing in with our Stitcher Supplier. Opponent is going to exercise our commander. In response, we're going to cast Planar Genesis. Let's go for a Black Market Connections. That's going to be really good against our opponent here. Do we have lands in the graveyard? We do. Oh, we do. Okay, let's get out a walk-in closet here. Let's go ahead and put down the strip mine, and let's go ahead and start destroying our opponent's lands. Making sure he can't cast his commander anytime soon. So what we're going to do on our turn is get out the Black Market Connections and then use Strip Mine, and our opponent is crippled. Sorry, Ketramos. There will be no more exiles today. Good game. Thank you, my friends, for watching another one of my videos. This one featuring Tasigur, the Golden Fang. I really like Tasigur, and there's some cards in this deck, in this final version that I have, that really give you good synergy where you can manipulate your graveyard to get some of the cards that you want. Things like Psychic Frog and other cards where you can control taking things out of the graveyard to help make your opponent's choices, as you saw in this video, a little hard to deal with. I would put Tasigur at probably about a high C to a low B tier, and you do get paired against a variety of opponents on Arena based off of the algorithm. The deck list is in the description below. Please don't forget to like. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to leave a comment talking about Tasigur or another commander you'd like me to look into, or your favorite kind of steak, how you like it cooked. I don't really care, as long as I talk to you, part of the Magic community. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.